My name is Joni Oostveen. I'm the manager of the playground. And let me quickly introduce myself before I introduce the playground. I've been working for startups, small startups and scale-ups for the past 15 to 18 years. Worked for Spotify, had my own startup as well. Got some funding for it, sold it, and also worked for some corporates like Philips and KPN Mobile. And I recently, last year, basically, I joined JADS to manage the playground. About the playground, what is the playground? Well, we are a startup incubator, and basically we help startups to go from ID to actual launch, and we help them with everything in between. So we really help students to get their venture off the ground. The startup is extracurricular, so it's not part of the course, and it's open to basically anyone. So we're a very open incubator, but we mainly focus on the students from JADS, so the data science students. But we also have students from Tilburg University, from students from Eindhoven, and we even have some working professionals. But like I said, it's mainly focusing on the JADS students. And what do we do then as a playground or as a startup incubator? Like I said, we try to help you to get your get your startup flying, and we try to do that with workshops. Those workshops are focusing on developing skills. Think of consultancy skills, or pitching skills, or creating a pitch deck, or how to create a cap table and get and talk to investors. So that's one thing. We also provide presentations around organizations that can help you with your startups, or presentations from successful entrepreneurs, founders, who will share the experience of their startup with you guys. And we also try to provide a community and a network for like-minded people. It's a bit difficult now with the COVID because we can't do any physical meetups, but as soon as COVID permits, then we like to organize meetups where you can mingle, have a beer or a soda, a slice of pizza, the real startup atmosphere. We also try to help you with getting funding. It's not that we have financial instruments where we can actually fund or invest in you, but we know our way around in the VC, the venture capitalist network, and we know organizations that can also help you with loans or funds from the government, the province, or the municipality. And lastly, we also have a physical space within the campus of JADS. Obviously, that is closed now. But there, once again, once COVID permits, that's where we will do the meetups. That's also where we have some flexible office spaces where you guys can work, and we also have actual office spaces that we can allocate to specific startups. Where you have your actual office. So that's what we do. If you want to have some more information about the playground, then I suggest you go to the canvas. I'm assuming that you all know the canvas, but that's the kind of the intranet for the students where you can find all the course information. And the playground, we have our own page there. You can have a look at the program so you can see what kind of workshop and events and presentations we have planned for the next coming months. There's also some information about some benefits that we provide. For example, free Amazon Web Services credits that you can use, free MailChimp that you can use, Yeah, feel free to send me an email. You can reach me on the following email address: playground@jads.nl. That is playground@jads.nl. If you have any questions, if you want more information about the playground, or if you are thinking about a startup or anything like that, just feel free to drop me a mail. Actually, we have a presentation organized this afternoon at 4 o'clock. This presentation is from Rockstart, a startup accelerator. They will come in and tell us what they do and how they help startups. I think it's going to be a super cool presentation. So please do join us on the Canvas page that I just talked about. You can find the Zoom link to join this presentation. And then we have here, as you could see already, 3 students. They have their own startup, and I'm going to ask them some questions about the startup and their experience with the playground. But first, some round of introductions. Maybe Max, we can start with you. Maybe you can give a brief introduction about yourself and also what your startup is about.
Sure. My name is Max Roeters. I'm 24 years old and currently first year of the master at JADS. Before this, I did the Bachelor Data Science in Eindhoven. And I was always interested in data and especially the business side of it. And it came to mind that I wanted to start my own company, and that's what I did last month together with 2 colleagues. And we want to pursue safe and manageable data transitions, and then especially in a transparent and responsible manner.
All right, very cool. And Dominic, what about you? Can you give us a brief introduction about you and your startup?
Of course. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Dominic Weijers. I'm a second-year student, and together with 3 friends who happen to be data scientists at JADS as well, we founded Peppermint. Peppermint is a new way to do all of your favorite leisure activities. Think about going to a museum, theme park, or a zoo, and you only pay for the time you actually spend there. And this enables you to only pay a small amount if you want to visit for a short time. You can try out new activities at a low threshold, remain flexible and spontaneous in this turbulent world, and of course save money, as you never pay more than the regular ticket price.
Thank you, Dominic. And Jasper.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jasper Nierop, and I'm 24 years old, second year JADS student. And in May, me and some fellow founders, we founded Walnut Data. We are a data science consultancy firm. So we use data science techniques to solve a wide array of business problems.
Oh, unmute myself. Cool. Thank you, Jasper. I have a question for you, Jasper. When did you get the idea of starting a company?
In the first semester of the first year of the masters, we got a project group like everyone, and but we had a very special project group, or at least that's what we thought. We got high grades and we had a very pleasant working dynamic. So after the semester, we decided to grab a beer at a bar because then it was still possible. And while enjoying a beer and a meal, we decided that it should be a waste if we limited ourselves to school projects. And that's where the idea of founding a startup came from. And that's when we started Walnut Data. So that was in February.
Okay. All right. And Dominic, how did you guys come up with the idea for Peppermint?
Yeah, good question. So in the beginning of last semester, we had a course, Data Entrepreneurship in Action 3, which is a course at JADS where you actually found your own company. And we started thinking about cool applications and about many ideas. So we started brainstorming, and Peppermint was actually like our 9th idea, which we thought was viable and somewhat cool. So we decided to pursue it. And at the end of the course, when we actually won the investors pitch, we were convinced that if other people, and especially experienced people, have trust in what we've pitched, then we should, it would definitely be a waste if we didn't pursue it. So that's why we decided to continue.
Okay, all right. And Max, this starting your own venture, starting your own company, was this something that you already had in the back of your mind, or maybe it was always in your mind that you wanted to start a venture, or did this, or how came this about actually?
Yeah, the thing came about because I was supposed to go traveling in February last year, and that was canceled. So I had half a year to think about what I want. And the thing I saw that for in the future, I want to have a certain degree of freedom. I want to pursue my own mission and vision and spend my time in ways I think are justified, and not doing that for someone who imposes his ideas on me. So that got me thinking from, okay, I want to start my own company, and then you get to look at the chances you encounter during, for example, courses or when talking with people.
Yeah.
So I think that was like more of an organic process that started a year ago, I think.
Okay, and Jasper, for you, how was that process for you guys? Because you guys said, okay, let's have a beer and a meal, a dinner, and then we're going to start our own company. But how did you come with the idea of the do kind of like a consultancy company?
Yeah, I think I always admired being an entrepreneur, the freedom,
Okay.
really having, creating something yourself, building something. That's also always something I really admired, but I didn't really know that if I was up for it. And during this meal, I found that some of my group members were also dreaming about this. So we decided, why not try it? And now we're almost a year old, and it's still going very well. And I found that I think I found my passion in entrepreneurship.
But sorry, was it also that was also the reason why you chose to go to JADS, because of the entrepreneurial aspect, or that's more like a coincidence?
No, definitely. I really enjoyed the balance between the technology on the one side and the entrepreneurship on the other side, and the concept of playgrounds and JADS, which is really involved with companies. That's something that really attracted me towards this university. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Dominic, about the playground. How did you experience the playground? Was it helpful in any way, or maybe it wasn't?
No, yes, I think the playground, was of course actively involved in the course DA3, and you made sure that business coaches were available who could support our entrepreneurial journey, and we really found this very, very useful. And right now you of course organize several sessions with, for example, Rockstart, and we are definitely planning to attend all of these sessions and try to learn as much as possible, and possibly also network with similar-minded people. And I think that is how how Playground has helped us thus far.
All right, thank you, Good to hear that. And Max, how do you experience the playground so far?
Yeah, I encountered it now for a short while. I think since September, but definitely it helped me a lot, especially in the network and connections, and talking with like-minded people is very motivating for me. Especially you'll be amazed by how much people want to help you if you just ask for it. And that's something what the playground facilitates for me, like this network and this community, which contributed a lot for me.
Cool. That's. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that I'm not doing work for nothing. Last question. Jasper, is there any advice that you want to give to any of the students who are thinking about creating their own company?
There's of course lots to consider, but what I think is one of the most important things before you start your own company is to think about with whom you do that. Think about your founding team and make sure you trust them. Make sure you can be yourself, but also make sure that you feel comfortable to provide each other with feedback. I think it's important to, from time to time, do a reflection session, be honest about the things you like, but also about the things you think could be improved. I think that's one of the most important advice I could give right now, because I think a lot of startups fail due to conflict, and that would be a shame if you put a lot of investment in your company and then you fail because of some stupid conflict. So I think that's one of the most important things to consider.
Yeah, that's a great advice. I couldn't agree more with you. Thank you for that, Jasper. Dominic, do you have a piece of advice for the pre-master students?
Yeah, it's of course a very good question. I think it's a golden question if we all know what the best advice is. But I think I have a bit of a counterintuitive one. So entrepreneurship is often seen as something that is very free and very exploratory, and I think it should be. But I think that approaching it in a more methodological and more scientific way can really help. I think setting hypotheses and doing experiments and doing analysis soundly actually helps you identify what you should focus on, and also allows you not to dwell too long on ungrounded assumptions and just get going. So I think that really helped me.
Cool, very good advice, I think. Thank you for that. And last but not least, Max, what about you? Do you have something to share for us?
Yes, I think first of all that Jasper and Dominique already said two very important things. And one of the most important things is just to talk, just as what I said before. But besides of that, before starting something, try to think about what makes you happy as a person, because if you can implement that in your company, it will be more sustainable. And because you have, at the beginning, you have to put a lot of dirty hours into it. And if you are doing it something for what makes you happy, you will endure it. So combine everything, and then it should be all right.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the advice and for the input and sharing your experiences. And thank you for your time. I hope to see you guys soon in the playground again, and hopefully we meet each other again in real instead of digitally. That was it for this little session about the playground and the playground startups. Hope you enjoyed it, and once again, if you have any questions or want more information, feel free to reach out to me, to the playground at playground@jads.nl. Thank you very much.